What's up, good people? Marco's here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So, here we are. It makes sense, actually, right now. So, there can be only one, and we're down to the last coaching job that is left out there. Mike McCarthy yesterday basically said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to withdraw my name from the New Orleans Saints job to focus in on the 26th job. And what that reminded me of when he said that was when Jacksonville had scheduled an in-person visit with Robert Saleh. And Robert Saleh, all of a sudden we heard that, this is before it was officially announced that Friday night for the dump, that Brian Schottenheimer was going to be the head coach. Because I remember doing my live stream and people said, Robert Saleh's in play again. And I was like, wait a minute. He just said he wasn't going to go to Jacksonville and so on. And then it was like immediately we heard that it was going to be Brian Schottenheimer. But he had withdrawn his name because basically they let him know that we've already made our coaching decision. I can't remember whatever it is. The guy's a goober. He's the guy who was there doing Duval. Yeah, that guy. So he's the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it was funny listening to Pat McAfee literally kill the guy for the Duval. I'm sorry. It was just weird. And they did it a couple of times there. So I guess it's Duval County or something. I don't know what it was, but it was just weird. At least the only weirdness we had was Stephen Jones and that stuff. So I'm thinking, or the speculation is that they've basically decided on Kellen Moore, and they're going to have, because the Eagles will be working out at the New Orleans Saints facility, they'll be able to actually observe him actually in action there at the facilities and probably get a chance to really get to know him and things. But it seems like Kellen Moore is going to finally be a head coach at the NFL. So there's that. But I got thinking about something today. Couple of things. Watching the press conference again, the way they announced Stephen Jones was part owner of the Cowboys. And that was kind of like, okay, I thought Jerry Jones owned the Cowboys technically and was always the owner, and he was the GM, now was part owner of the Dallas Cowboys, which is interesting. But I started wondering because the Cowboys signed Will McClay to a multi-year deal. His contract wasn't going to be up until after the draft, but they've added multiple years to it. I'm wondering something, and this may be crazy. You got Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and GM, right? And then you got Stephen Jones, the vice president of operations and COO, chief operating officer, right? When Jerry goes, be it either 6 feet under or just retires, so to speak, and Stephen Jones becomes president or owner and so on, does he pull a Jerry and try and do both jobs? Or does Will McClay move up to be the GM? You follow me? If Charlotte is, she takes care of all the community and the things like that and stuff. I don't know what Jerry Jones Jr. I still don't know what Jerry Jones Jr. does. Does anybody know what Jerry Jones Jr. does? other than say, I think we found our coach. I always see him in the suite, but you never hear him talking about the organization like you do Stephen Jones. And I'm wondering if that's part of, I mean, you got to be, if you're Will McClay, your kids now are finished in school. You've been here at the Cowboys where you're the director of scouting for all these years, where other organizations look and say, we'd like you to be the GM. There's got to be more than you just being a head of scouting. You have got to want to be able to put more of a stamp on an organization and stuff and have more control, I would think, after all these years of being in the Cowboys. Unless that's part of it where, well, you're going to be my right-hand man. Jerry's not going to be here forever. And when he goes ahead and leaves everything for me to run, well, I'm not bright enough to be able to run it all by myself. And I'm smart enough to recognize that Will Clay has been here for all these years, and we've got him signed to a multi-year contract. And of course, we don't want to let him go. We want to get every dollar we can out of that guy. And so when Jerry does step down for whatever reason, be it the dirt nap or he just decides he just wants to hang out and drink wine from 7-Eleven, Will McClay will be moving up the ladder there, staying right there in my pocket, my right hip there, and trying to take all that money and things. But I wonder if that's the case, because you're Will McClay. I can't imagine that you're okay with just being the director of scouting. It's been like 13 years. There's got to be more to it for you than that. Now, the final thing I'll get here is say what you will about the Cowboys' process of getting to Brian Schottenheimer, to Shotty shots. We love those Shotty shots. Okay, I think, Steve, I can get Tracy to do a Shotty shots. Yeah, we're Cowboy fans. We're taking Shotty shots. When I can see it now. When we're losing bad, yeah, we need to take some Shotty shots. All right, pass the Shotty shot. Taking the Shotty shots. Say what you will about it, but Matt Eberflus is bringing in some really experienced, well-respected position coaches. White Cotton, I still can't believe that's his name. White Cotton has worked with some really good defensive linemen and made some really good defensive linemen. And that's something that we need here is, I'm hearing things that I really like to hear, and seeing and knowing that they're getting a coach who loves his linebackers and recognizes them in Matt Eberflus. And then you're getting an outstanding defensive line coach that Mozzie will definitely benefit from that. I hope they can re-sign Osa Odighizuwa, which, you're hearing now, of course, how Washington wants to get him and things. Of course, this is just off-season speculation. But surprisingly, they say that Osa Odighizuwa is, per Pro Football Focus, is the 10th rated free agent out there in the market. So his price tag might be $15 million a year. And knowing Stephen Jones, I know he's not going to want to pay that. But we'll see where that goes. But the Cowboys are putting together a really good coaching staff. And hearing them say that they want to get the running game going and get back to focusing on the running game. This is the big difference of having Mike McCarthy come back. Mike McCarthy, of course, because he's worked with some great quarterbacks in his career, loves to throw the football. He's not a guy who cares about running the football. But what you always find happens is, 2 years ago, everybody was like, screw running backs. People were telling their kids, don't be a running back. You're not going to last for long. You're not going to get paid. But what you've seen is, this year, the resurgence. The pendulum swung over. Everybody said, don't draft running backs high. Don't pay them. They're a dime a dozen. You can just have one. Well, it's swinging back because of what Derrick Henry and Saquon did this year. That people recognize that running the football really well helps your quarterback and your team win. It controls the clock. It makes your offense less predictable. It helps the quarterback because play action works. And the Cowboys have relearned that lesson, understanding that the last 2 years have been some of the worst years of the Cowboys running the football, that it doesn't serve your quarterback and doesn't serve your team well. And so there is a sense of urgency to stop the run and run the football better. Two things that we never do well in the playoffs. So there's that. So that seems to be good news for the Cowboys, that are at least early on, as we've gone through the first day of Senior Bowl practice, that they are trying to address the issues that they have. Running the football, stopping the run, getting younger in a coaching staff. I don't want to get sucked in and try and get excited and say they're going to turn it around, because Stephen Jones has a way of sucking the life out of you. That being said, that's all I got for you guys tonight. But it has been a crazy, crazy offseason already. And I'm worn out. If the whole offseason is going to be like this, I'll be glad when we get to football season, just so I can get caught up on some rest. This shit is crazy. But anyway, you know how we roll. It's the end of the day. Another one's in the books. And it's one I can never get back again. Remember, good people, life is short and life is precious. Make sure you let the people who you love know how you feel about it, because you might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. And God willing, we'll all be here tomorrow. Peace out. Peace.